This week, we're diving back into Season 0, Chapter 2, The Days Go By, where we meet Val for the first time. Now, I've worked with my audio artist Zoran to infuse these chapters with more magic, more wonder, and more incredible artistry. And along the way, we're taking a look back at the Seventh Valkyrie journey as we make our way towards Season 3. Welcome to the Seventh Valkyrie Listen-Along. Let's rock and roll. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Valkyrie Listen-Along. I'm your host, Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the Seventh Valkyrie. If you're a new listener coming through the series for the first time, well, welcome. And if you're a grizzled hero of Edera, it's great to have you back. Here is where I would put that there would be spoilers, but at this point you guys wouldn't have known anything. But be aware that as we go on, if you're catching this at a random time, you might be catching some spoilers if you want to listen to the whole thing fresh. Anyway, we start with our first segment, which is Inside the Episode, where we give you guys a little bit of the play-by-play, quick summary of what you just heard. And we start pretty slowly in this episode, seeing Val's peaceful life in the mountains. He has his two dogs, Edda and Rowan, his horse, Nora, and he's in this peaceful little town of Minns, where we get to see kind of the fragments of his relationship and reputation in the area by his interactions with Ori and Goff, who run the general store. And we learn a little bit about Val's skill as a hunter, the mystery still surrounding his arrival, but we do see that he's kind of starting to integrate into this small town. And with a request from Ori and Goff, he suddenly finds himself agreeing to train a young man named Evan to hunt, who lost his father. But even as this positive moment happens, we see some distance and some uncertainty. You can tell even as he's offering to help, there's something weighing on Val. And he leans into Edda, and he's not that certain. And that's most of what happens here. And now let's take you guys into the second part of this episode, which I call Outside the Episode, where we kind of give you guys a little bit more of director's commentary. We're really looking back at the series, talking about the changes as we kind of get through the listen-along. And I would say that first and foremost, what stuck out to me about this episode was that I get to hear the earliest voice acting of Val from myself. And I think you guys will all notice, if you've been listening along, it's very different from how he's voice acted in the later seasons. And at first I was like, is this a disappointing thing? Is this not, like, true to him? And I actually think that the changes in his voice actually match the journey that he goes on and the changes that happen in his life. And we actually see a lot of uncertainty in Val at the start of this chapter. He's reserved, he lives alone with his dogs, and even when he's interacting with Ori and Goff, he's quiet and respectful, which is a little bit of a contrast to his hulking figure and his reputation as by far the best hunter in the region. And you can see that kind of contrast is also why Ori and Goff are so surprised he takes them up on their offer. He is still a stranger, and they're still figuring him out, so that kind of makes sense. Shifting gears here, from the audio artistry perspective, this is a batch of some really excellent, delicate work from Big Z. I think, some of the best moment I think of this series is kind of just this description of this small town as time passes by. And I think that everything he did, the atmosphere is just right. The scene is set by those little details that help your brain fill it in. Having the little additions for Edda and Rowan just makes them feel so alive. And there are going to be some big set pieces and magical moments ahead, but the time that we get to spend just inhabiting this world with the characters is arguably just as important to the series. It gives you some texture and some context for how this world is changing, what people are feeling inside it. And obviously helping you guys feel immersed is something I cannot applaud Big Z for enough. Anyway, that's where we wrap up for this listen-along. We're reaching the end of the episode. So, if you are itching to get ahead, you are not alone, and you can do that one of two ways. First, you can listen to the episode as they were released right now, today, for free. Season 0 to Season 2, boom, it's out there. Or, if you'd like to experience the full magic of the series, like we're doing in this listen-along, you can join us as on Patreon as a hero of Edera, and get exclusive access to the Season 0 and Season 1 reimagining weeks before they hit the public. I think we're more than 6 weeks ahead. We're hoping to be just like keep flying for our heroes, give you guys a reason to be supporting us. But yeah, anyway, the choice is yours. Just like always, we're glad to have you along, we being me, and all of the little imaginary guys doing dances behind me that are supporting me. They're like, hey, you go, Colin. That's what I imagine, at least. Anyway, glad to have you guys on the ride. Let's rock and roll, and keep rolling towards season 3.